I'm Jerusha Cynthia Roth, and you're watching News 24 Live. Now, you're not supposed to talk about sex, religion, and politics. In fact, that's what our mothers told us. But we know because we're South African, that never really happens. We're always talking about sex, religion, and politics. So I'm joined in studio by two opinion makers who are going to have a chat with us about some of the saucier topics in the news this week. Thank you so much for joining us, ladies.
Thank you for having us.
Now, before we get started, I'm going to ask that you introduce yourselves. Fika, we'll start with you.
I'm Fika, and I am an actress/writer.
Awesome.
I'm Shoni Sani, and you can call me Shoni, and I'm an actress/blogger.
So very creative people.
Yes.
Okay. So let's get started with sex. I think this story's been doing the rounds, and it's been shared quite a lot. It's so bizarre. A woman rapes a man in the Eastern Cape and then steals his semen. It is messed up on so many levels. I think the first thing is that often lots of South Africans don't realize that men can get raped.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I for one didn't think it was possible because obviously with the man you have to sort of get him to that point where everything works and isn't, so I didn't really think it was possible.
Yeah, and you would think that women would be able to go up to a man that they would really like and say, hey, it's you I want, and get his sperm the normal way, don't you think?
Right.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
This is just so bizarre.
Yeah.
What does she want to do with it? Well, it's so strange.
It's almost so strange the way that they did it, those women, that it seems like they want to do something different with the sperm than you would normally.
Use it for themselves. Yeah.
Because wouldn't you go to a sperm bank to get sperm?
One would think so, but what different can you possibly do with sperm?
I don't even want to know the possibilities of what you can do with sperm besides the traditional way of doing stuff. Yeah.
We probably actually don't want to
we probably don't want to go there.
Ooh,
yeah. But I think it brought up a lot of really interesting conversations in South Africa. It was shared on social media a lot, and people were really having the rape discussion. Mm-hmm. Firstly, obviously, like we touched on, men can get raped. And secondly, we're often really not sensitive enough to the victims of rape in South Africa. We make all sorts of ridiculous excuses. In this case, a lot of guys on social media were saying stuff like, oh, what a lucky guy. It's every guy's dream to be raped by a woman. And that's so unhelpful.
Yeah, it's almost like we've been desensitized to this whole thing. And I think that because so many women have been going through this thing, and we're in a world where equality is now something that we're all striving for, and then now it's something that's happening to men, and no one really knows. It's making us a bit uncomfortable because it's like it's going in the opposite direction of the progress we're trying to,
Yeah. Fika.
I just think, like she said, it's a bit desensitized now because, I mean, even when we talk about it with women, it's sort of like, okay, well, who's the guy? And my thing is like, why haven't they found the woman? Because surely that is a specific group of women who are like looking for men to steal sperm from. Don't know if there's criteria for.
Perhaps the idea is also that we've got this ridiculous idea in our heads that all men are the same way. They all just want to have sex with everybody, or they're complete unemotional beings. And I mean, that's crap.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I wonder how far we need to go or what we need to do to change that mindset.
I think it's going to be a while, though, to change because we're only just now talking about issues like feminism and equal rights. Only now, even though the women's movement and feminism was like 80s, and we're only now touching on the issue. So to touch on issues like gender roles with men is going to take quite a while.
Also, if women across the board are very surprised about this subject, surely we're all thinking the same thing as how would you even go about thinking to yourself, I'm going to rape this guy. So these women that are doing it for a specific reason, I think we need to find out what they're doing with that sperm. And before we can, completely shut it down as something that is like male rights, female rights, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I really think those women are up to something. It's not normal.
Yeah, it's not.
No.
But I think, rape is also obviously often not about sex, but it's about power.
Yeah.
And, I mean, who knows what's happening in this situation. But it kind of brings us to an interesting topic, and that's, we've been discussing it at News 24 Live for a while, this idea of what's expected of men and what's expected of women. And I was just sort of on a tangent wondering what you guys think about raising young boys in South Africa. So many young men were taught, you don't cry, you stick it out. If a woman walks past, you look at her ass. That's just what a man does. Do you think that we have a generation of South African young men, perhaps your age, who think about things differently?
Yes, completely differently. And I look at this from my little brother. He's 17, and the way he's been raised, and it's almost as if respecting women is something that they're being taught from a much younger age, and that's because the women that are raising them are women that are just fed up with how it's been going for so long. And I know that our mothers, happy Mother's Day to yesterday, are doing really well with trying to just shift this dynamic into what men that respect women and not men that expect women to do everything for them.
The roles are changing, and I believe that parents now are more open to different things for their children, and I mean, they're willing to teach their children how to progress with the times of now. And I think guys, they will always still have that like macho, I want to be a man, and seen through their peers like I'm a man. Not like, because men don't want to be seen as sappy, but they also don't want to be too macho for the woman they're trying to pursue. So they have to like find an equal balance. It's the same with women. Like women in an office area has to be strong enough to lead a group of meetings and still be reserved, and people can talk to her, and she's not seen as the boss bitch. Yeah.
Oh gosh, we can talk about that for ages. The idea that a woman's bossy if she does something the way that a guy would do it normally, and no one would think twice about it. I think it's kind of exciting though to be in a space where we realize that there's this generation of young men who, in a way, are feminists, who really believe in equal rights for men and women, and who understand that women have been on the back burner for so long and really need to be given as much training and development and given positions of power that really so many women deserve.
And it's a logical movement. It makes sense that women are respected and held to the regard that they are, because we're powerful and we're excellent. Yes.